Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. I went over to my friend's house tonight. We're both from Portland, Oregon. He's a huge Blazers fan. I was watching part of this game with him, and my friend was getting annoyed saying he doesn't think Damian Lillard is playing well because he's still upset that he didn't make the All Star team. And I was telling him the reason he's not playing well is because he's just following the script that he's told. And him and I were having a friendly argument. He doesn't think these games could possibly be scripted, that the players would go along with this. But to me, it just seems apparent that that's really what's going on. Lillard tonight just played like a fool. He took really dumb shots that were nonsensical. And by the end of the game, it all made perfect sense to me. Look at this recap from ESPN right here about Lillard's performance tonight, Truth Seeker. And if you've seen my other posts before, you know how important the number 113 is in basketball. Michael Jordan equals 113. He unexpectedly retired on January 13th. Kobe Bryant equals 113. He's practically a clone of Michael Jordan, but not as good. If you look at the scoring records in NBA history, before Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in a game, he set the record on January 13th, and prior to that on November 3rd, both date sequences of 113. This number is very important in the NBA and beyond. Making matters more interesting, this was Lillard's 223rd game. Remember, Synagogue of Satan equals 223. This is 322 in reverse. And who runs the NBA? The Zionist Jews, who are the Synagogue of Satan. So it just makes so much sense to me, Truth Seeker. This is how they run the league. They even tell players when to have crappy games. I bet you more money than I have that Damian Lillard was instructed to go 1 for 13 tonight. Why? Because he was facing Chris Paul. And the build-up to this game was that these are two of the league's best point guards. Lillard could be getting to the point of surpassing Paul as the league's best point guard. But then tonight, Paul showed up Lillard having a big game where Lillard had almost his career worst. And then by the end of the game, the announcers were going, well, Paul demonstrated tonight that he still is the league's best point guard, even though the Clippers lost. But really, this is just the way it's scripted. And if you haven't seen my post on Chris Paul and the death of his grandfather and the tribute, you should watch that, because this is further proof to what I'm saying. Chris Paul sold his soul. He might have been down with the death of his grandfather to get his fame and future. Perhaps that's why he gets to one-up Damian Lillard so hardcore tonight. Maybe Damian Lillard made a mistake, sold out a little bit too along the way, but maybe not quite as hard as Chris Paul. And look at this little Chris Paul tribute right here. Paul scored 8 points during a 3:33 stretch. Oh, really, ESPN? When you pay attention to what's reported with the numbers, it all gets very fascinating. This 4:33 left also blows my mind because Portland had the drill top off 7 years ago. Top off sums to 33. The drill's called top off 4:33. Call it a coincidence? I say not. And look at what Lillard's career worst was before 113. It was 116, 911 upside down. So check this out. Here's also why my eyes were on this game tonight. The Portland Trail Blazers, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Buffalo Braves, which are now the Los Angeles Clippers, were all established 44 years ago, the 1970 season. In that season, the NBA got 17 teams with the 3 new additions. NBA, in simple English gematria, sums to 17, just like the word Mason. Anthony Mason recently passed away. Anthony Mason was drafted 53rd overall in the 88 season by the Trailblazers. He was the 53rd overall pick by the Trailblazers. Trailblazers equals 53. And look, Clippers equals 44. And again, they're in their 44th anniversary this year. This could be their last year in LA. With the S exception, they also equal 53. With the S exception, Trailblazers equals Mason. And Portland's seal date was established March 22nd, 322. Or some places written 223, like Lillard's game tonight. You can start to see how all this stuff comes together, because the Masons have been running it all for a long time, from cities to sports leagues. And I want to point out something else. The Blazers won tonight 98-93. 93 is the number of Thelema. It was the 62nd game for the Clippers. The word Mason equals 62. Last year in the playoffs, Lillard played lights out until the Spurs series. And in that series, he played like a bum, the way he played tonight. And look, Spurs also has that gematria of 93. I have a video post on Tim Duncan and the Spurs too, Truth Seeker. Check it out. If you think I am mad and this is all nonsensical, think again. Watch my other sports posts. This is ongoing, all sports leagues. Let's close out by watching some highlights. More fun than gematria talk sometimes.
Blazers, Clippers from Staples. That's Chris Paul stepping up his game without Blake Griffin. 21 and better than 12 assists a game over the last 10, up from his regular season averages. And CP3 had it going on this night, crossing over Damian Lillard, hitting the pull-up jumper. Then later, it's Paul getting past Lillard on the floater, spinning, hitting the...
You know what I hate about the NBA is how you're able to carry all over. You know, Chris Paul is fast and fun to watch, but man, does he carry every play.
Jumper over Lillard. Clippers were up 8. Blazers battle back. Final seconds, almost a turnover. Instead, Nicholas Batum, wing 3, game even at 87. But the Clips still had the final shot. It's Paul driving. This one rattles in and out, but look at DeAndre Jordan. You had the ball in your hands with time to go to put it back. Check out how frantic Paul here is on the replay. Jordan could have put back the game winner. Put it up! There's still time on the clock. Instead, he held on, and time would expire, and we'd move to overtime. You can understand why CP3 was so bothered. In OT, Batum lobbing for LaMarcus Aldridge. Aldridge had 29, Blazers up 4. Just under a minute left, Clips down a deuce, it's Paul. Pull-up jumper, he had 36 to go to dozen assists, even at 93. Minute to...
He had 36, maybe also part of the tribute. What do we know about 36? If you add up every single number up to 36, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, all the way up to 36, it sums to 666. And if I didn't mention it already tonight, Lillard, the point guard, had 18 rebounds on his 1 for 13 shooting. I don't know if I've ever seen a point guard have 18 rebounds. That's a huge number.
Play Batum. Serving it up for Aldridge. Blazers up a deuce. Next Clipper touch. J.J. Redick drives, but check out Batum. The long arms swatting him. On the other end, Batum. And this is your dagger 3. He had 20 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, and a pair of blocks. On a night, Lillard scored just 5 points on 1 field goal. He had 18 rebounds, but it's defense like that and a rally late, and the Blazers get it.
Notice the dagger comes from number 88, Nicholas Batum from France. Before I saw this numerology gematria thing, I thought it was weird that this player wore 88 because that is a very odd number for basketball.
Done in OT. Winners on the road, 98-93.
So there it was, Truth Seeker. Curious team between two teams established 44 years ago, a number that's proven very important in sports lately. The Patriots won the Super Bowl. They were in their 44th year of being in their division. And they went through Baltimore and Indianapolis. It was the Baltimore Colts who had won the Super Bowl 44 years earlier. All right, until next time, Truth Seeker.